On Elbaf, the Holy Knight's plans are kinda working out perfectly. All the monsters they manifested from the children's dreams are attacking the adults and the villages, while the children continue to sleepwalk their way to the government ship. And again, they can't physically stop them because just trying to touch them will have a bunch of thorns appear, and the more you care about whoever you're trying to save, the more damage the thorns will do to you. And again, the monsters that are attacking everybody are the manifestation of the children's dreams. And the Holy Knights are just sitting back and eating a meal while all this goes down. While the adults are figuring out that this must have something to do with the 2 intruders that were spotted on the island, well, they're all trying to figure out what's happening, but Jinbei says in this world, strange powers usually come from devil fruits. Well, that's probably where all these monsters are coming from. Well, they start spreading word to everybody, and Usopp figures that if they're taking hostages, then they must have something planned. They've never seen a kidnapping done like this before, and the elder says they won't let them get away with this. And the crew wants to help, but Jarul doesn't want them to because they're guests. They insist on helping with the intruders while the giants handle the bigger monster issues. But at the same time, Colin's gathering a bunch of weapons. He's like, hey, y'all wanna come with me? Hey, I get to be the captain. Nami says that shit's cute. So the crew hops on his ship. Let's go, the Colin pirates. And they start sailing on the clouds. And there's a broadcast to the whole island that there are intruders somewhere. Again, they're just chilling and eating food. Gonko's humming a song, and they're actually watching and laughing as Saul's trying to do whatever he can to stop the children, trying to use shields because he can't touch them with his hands. But as soon as he stops one, the one behind him walks into her. The kids' thorns just start hurting each other, so he has to move out the way and let them continue walking. Robin is disgusted, like who would do such a thing? It's gotta be some kind of devil fruit, so Saul goes to lasso a rope and throws it around the child that's all the way in the back, and it works. So they gotta delicately stop them one by one from behind. Then one of the giant monsters pulls up right behind him to fuck up the whole operation. I can't even hate, the Holy Knight's plan here is damn near perfect. While the rest of the giants are still taking on the monsters and successfully beat the giant skeleton, but there's just so many of them. Dragons breathing fire, a giant ghost, so the adults just start running. But that's when we see this. Are you ready, Dory? Absolutely, Bragi. They use their trademark Hakoku sovereignty to destroy both the giant and the dragon at once. And it's funny, this is really like a trademark giant move. Kaido and Big Mom basically did the same shit together. We see they did it from their ship, the Great Elric, so the pirates have arrived to take care of all the monsters. And even Gyabin pulls up with them as well, so them niggas in trouble. So the giant pirates pull up to the Sun Realm to save all the villages from these monsters and kick it off with a wonderful Hakoku sovereignty. We see they got Gyabin with them as well, so taking out the forest monsters shouldn't be no problem. Then it cuts over to one of the giants fighting a dinosaur, and he's using a shield that has a face on it. Really, he was just acting as bait. Zoro and Sanji could chop right through its neck. So they're all just talking about using it for food, and the giant says it's delicious. Then they ask why his shield has a face on it, like it's showing emotions. He says it came to life after my old man clashed with Big Mom. They figure it's like Zeus, one of the homies she created. Now back over by Loki, he's telling Luffy and them that the Holy Knights are on the island, that they're the ones who damn near killed him, giving him all these wounds. And Hasruden's like, well, all your rampaging over the seas, you must have made some enemies. But Loki's like, don't be stupid. I'd already be king of the world if I'd gone far enough to cross paths with guys like those. Well, Luffy's catching on like, world government knights, as Zoro and the other giant pull up with the dinosaur for food. They say groggy sauruses are super nutritious. They collect the firewood and start cooking the meat pretty quickly, and once it's done, Luffy just grabs it and slams it on Loki's face, telling him to eat up, bro, but the shit is hot as hell. He starts cussing him out like, bro, are you trying to kill me? Come on, man, you won't heal if you don't eat. He just begrudgingly chews the meat. But it's a little hard to swallow, so he starts choking. Luffy rushes over with something to drink. He's like, hey, come on, that shit is boiling. Chill out, yo. Luffy did not chill out and burned his face even more than it already was. He's like, alright, get this nigga the hell away from me. Luffy apologizes, but Gerd gives him the thumbs up. Sanji doesn't know what's going on, like, why are y'all treating him like this? Zoro says, I bet his promise to Luffy was just a trick. He's like, nah, I know where Shanks is at, but the deal was you'd free me and I tell y'all, so I ain't telling y'all shit. But you really want to see Shanks that bad? Well, I guess I can understand. That's what happens when you look up to a pirate in your youth. Luffy asks, you know the feeling? And he says, yeah, I do. You regret that you were just a kid, and it shows a flashback of him telling somebody to take him with him. And this is probably Rocks. This looks like fucking Rocks. But whoever it was says, I didn't come all this way to take in a brat like you. Don't make me repeat myself. So this kid version of Loki challenged him to a battle to join his crew. He just beat the shit out of him, and one of his crew says, you seriously pulled a blade on a kid? He says, shut it, Newgate. So that's obviously Whitebeard, and this is definitely Rocks. Loki says, unfortunately, I was born in the wrong era. Then it cuts back over to the giants, really just enjoying the thrill of battle, taking out all these monsters. Gyabin old ass having a good time too. And now the giant pirates pull up to the Sun Realm to save the villages from all the monsters. And we see Gyabins with them, so they shouldn't have no problem handling this. They're saying it's good these monsters were only imagined by the children, as if they were more familiar with the real versions of these things, they'd be much more dangerous. Now Gyabin's just looking around saying it's just as I thought. There's more now, 3 of them. And voices that strange can't be suppressed. So he's probably talking about the Holy Knights. He's saying if Elbaf is no longer safe, then the world really is ending. While the giant fire department are trying to put out all the flames, Saul says thank goodness, but y'all need to hurry, because the kids are still walking directly into the fire, just sleepwalking down the path that Gonko sent them. They're already using all the water pressure they got, but he's like, come on, y'all gotta put it out, y'all can do it. But again, the Holy Knights are still just sitting back and watching. And Summer says, look Gonko, the kids are about to be burned alive. Would that be enough to wake them up? Yeah, all the celestial dragons are just pure fucking evil. And she says, yeah, they'll wake up from the heat, screaming for their parents in terror. And the flames will burn them down to the bone. And Yo's like, man, ain't that just touching? Now, they're trying to spray all the water they can and save them, but yeah, I was about to say, where the hell is Jinbei? Yeah, he uses his fishman karate to do the current shoulder throw. He says that should do it as this giant wave of water crashes into the flames. And the gang cheers him on like that's our Jinbei. He was right, he put out all the flames. So the children didn't burn alive, but they are still walking to the government ship. Everybody's still celebrating for a bit, praising the fire department and giving, Jinbei his flowers. This sweet and joyful moment is abruptly ruined as Gonko appears on Colin's ship. This Holy Knight Gonko appears on Colin's ship, and it's a direct confrontation, as Jinbei, Usopp, Nami, and Brook are all there too. She's like, so all the children weren't at the school. This one sure seems lively. She's trying to kidnap Colin too. Now they all realize that she's one of the human intruders that the giants were talking about, who handled 2 giant guards like it was nothing. So they're like, what's your deal? Why are you kidnapping the kids? She feels disrespected, like, did you just say human? We are gods. And Usopp's like, ugh, you sound just like Enel or one of those celestial dragons. But Nami's like, why would gods go after children in Elbaf? And Colin's like, yeah, they're my friends. Where are you taking them? Just let them go. But she says a child like you should know when to hold your tongue. Now, even for us, a clean abduction isn't feasible given the sheer size of the children. Our only option to ensure passage to Mary Joie was to have them walk themselves over there. Well, they're all realizing that she is a celestial dragon, but Brook's like, nah, I'm afraid this one's an even higher rank, a holy knight. She says, indeed. Usopp like, come on, don't tell me you're gonna force those children into slavery. He starts getting shook mid-sentence as she aims her arrows at him. Nami pulls out Zeus to attack while he tries to run away from it. And hold up, I've never seen this move before. Thunder Shark Tempo? Turning Zeus into an electric shark, but Gonko just uses her arrows to redirect him. She says the world was meant to simply vanish one day. That's how it was supposed to go. And damn, Nami's running because she redirected him back at her. And all Zeus can do is apologize as she shocks the shit out of her. But okay, fortunately, it was just Brook. There's no way she was about to eat that. Or maybe she was, I just don't want to see Nami get hurt. Gonko continues. However, some among the humans realized what lay in store, and they made sure the entire world would know. Talking about the Ohara scientists and Vegapunk. When Usopp goes to shoot something at her, it's one of his explosive stars saying, "We not afraid of you celestial dragons." He actually blew her whole damn top off. What the hell? And even he shook like he ain't mean to do all that. Then she just starts regenerating like the rest of the Gorosei. It says once it starts, it cannot be undone. No one can stop it. And Usopp's realizing that the arrow indicates her target, so they all try to do what they can to stop her from cracking him. As she says the countdown has already started. The world is already entangled in the opening salvo of the coming war. It is said that the giants' allegiance will greatly shape how this conflict unfolds. It shows Loki full as shit after eating a meal.